Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're making a really delicious recipe that is so flavorful and it is so delicious. It's perfect for these cold days and nights that we have nowadays. It is chicken macaroni. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our favorite wok and add 3 tablespoons of olive oil and just add it in the pot. Then we're gonna add 1 medium onion diced to the pan, along with the bottoms of some green onions. We're gonna also add that with the regular white onions. Next, we're gonna let the onions saute a bit on medium until they're just a little bit soft. Once the onions have sauteed a bit, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of garlic ginger paste and give it a quick mix as well. Now we're gonna go ahead and add 300 grams of cubed chicken breast to the pot, and we're gonna cook it until the color changes. So we want the chicken to look something like this, where the chicken's color has completely changed. Now we're gonna go ahead and add 1 medium tomato. As you can see, the tomato is just chopped into larger pieces. Now we're gonna add just 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, half a teaspoon of red chili powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a half teaspoon of salt, but you can add more or less to taste. Now we're gonna add just 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, but you can add more or less to taste. You can add it closer to the end of serving the dish. Now you're just gonna give everything a quick mix, and we're basically gonna cook this until their liquid reduces. The tomatoes will release some liquid, as well as the chicken if it was frozen. So we're just gonna cook it until all the liquid is almost reduced and you're left with like a thick sauce, which you'll see in a minute. So you want to have it reduced by covering it with a lid and cooking it for about 10 minutes. So we're checking on it about 5 minutes in. As you can see that the liquid at the bottom did start boiling. The chicken is cooking, and there's quite a bit of liquid at the bottom, which is not what we're looking for. The chicken is soft, it's breaking, but we want to reduce that liquid. So we're gonna go ahead and cover it and cook it for a bit more until the liquid has reduced. So as you can see, the liquid has reduced and you can see all those onions in there. It's a lot more chunky, which is definitely what we're looking for. So now we're going to go ahead and continue adding our ingredients. So now let's add half a cup of grated carrots. Go ahead and give that a stir and let it cook for about 1 minute before we add our next ingredient, which is a 1/4 cup of green peppers. Just like that, a 1/4 cup of red peppers, just like that, and a 1/4 cup of yellow peppers, and these are all bell peppers. So now we'll give it a quick mix and let it cook for 1 minute before we move on to adding the next ingredient. Now we'll go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of ketchup and give that a quick mix before we add our next ingredient. Now we'll add just a little bit of the scallions or the tops of the green onions into the dish. And now instead of using just 1 spatula, we'll go ahead and toss everything together so that we don't break the vegetables too much. Now we'll go ahead and add 1 cup of pre-cooked broccoli. We boiled it ahead of time in the same water that we used to boil the macaroni for this dish. So when you cook the macaroni first, save the liquid from it, and you can use it to go ahead and boil any vegetables that you'd like, that you want cooked ahead of time so that they remain crunchy in the meal. Next, we're gonna add 400 grams of cooked elbow macaroni. We cooked this ahead of time with just about a teaspoon and a quarter of salt and just a little bit of olive oil in the water that we used to boil it. So you want to go ahead and make that ahead of time, and when you're done boiling it, go ahead and add just a little bit of olive oil so that the macaroni doesn't stick. Now we're going to take our spatulas and gently toss the pasta and the sauce together. Be careful not to toss it out of the pan. That is very possible, and be mindful of what wok or pan you use when you cook it. You want to have enough space for your macaroni and all your sauce to be able to mix together comfortably. Now is also the time that you want to make sure that the seasoning is correct. The salt level is where you want it to be. The spice level, it is going to be a spicy dish. You want the spice level to be where you want it to be. You can add more soy sauce if you want a little bit more flavor and salt in it, or you could try adding teriyaki sauce for an extra twist in the recipe. Finally, you want to put one more round of scallions on top of it, and then cover and steam it for 5 to 6 minutes to warm up all the pasta together along with the sauce. After that, we're ready to serve. As you can see, the chicken macaroni looks amazing. You can see all those broccoli florets as well as the bell peppers in there. It is so spicy. It is so good to eat on a cold day like it is today, and it just warms you up from the inside out. It's absolutely delicious, and it's great the next day as well as the day after that because it is just that good. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and give a like as well as a comment. Take care.